Hi moms, if you're looking to sell your engagement jewelry, Worthy is the perfect option. With over 45,000 satisfied customers, Worthy is the most trusted name in the business. Would I bring you anything less? Worthy offers competitive auctions and gets you the best deal possible on your jewelry. Plus, I've connected with Worthy on a special bonus offer for the Moms Moving On community. A $100 Amazon gift card when your jewelry sells for over $1,500. Ready to move on from that engagement ring? Get started today at worthy.com/moms. That's worthy.com/moms for the special bonus offer.
I didn't feel like anyone could really identify with what I was going through or how I was feeling, and it felt really lonely. And I found myself wishing the weekends away, because I find the weekends especially hard.
The worst. I know that feeling all too well. Oh God, even being 6.5 years out now, like you say that, it just takes me back to a dark place.
I know, and I never thought that, Friday would come around and I'd be wishing for Monday morning because it would be easier. And, it's usually the opposite.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Moms Moving On. I'm your host, Michelle Dempsey-Multack, and I'm here today with Zoe Desmond, who is the founder of the Frolo app. And I know what you're thinking, oh, just another app, just what we need. But it is so much more than that. And in the Moms Moving On space, how much I value community and togetherness to help each other get through one of the most difficult parts of our lives, divorce and co-parenting. And Zoe found a way to do that for people, and it's genius. Zoe, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to chat with you.
I'm really excited to let people know about Frolo and also the story behind it because, I found that nobody in the single parent and divorce space gets into this type of work to help others if they don't know firsthand what it's like to feel the pain of single parenting and divorce. So I'd love to start with just hearing a little bit of your story.
Sure. So my story started, really my single parent story started when my son had just turned 1 and his dad and I decided to go our separate ways. The relationship broke down and we ended things, and it was a really tough time. I was, dealing with trying to be a new mom and all of that. First time mom, new mom, overwhelmed on all levels. The relationship had been, had been going through its challenges as well for some time before that. So, there was a lot going on, a lot of emotional stuff. And I felt really lonely in my experience, and I didn't know any other single parents. And even though I've got great friends and family, I didn't feel like anyone could really identify with what I was going through or how I was feeling, and it felt really lonely. And I found myself wishing the weekends away, because I find the weekends especially hard.
The worst. I know that feeling all too well. Oh God, even being 6.5 years out now, like you say that, it just takes me back to a dark place.
I know, and I never thought that Friday would come around and I'd be wishing for Monday morning because it would be easier. And it's usually the opposite. So yeah, and I just find myself pushing the buggy around, seeing families everywhere, feeling a pang of loneliness, and also grieving for the family unit that I've always wanted to have. So there was just so many different layers and aspects of different things going on. And then also this feeling of shame and failure that I was confronted with. And I didn't really know where that came from, but now I understand it better because society has been sending negative messages about single parents,
Since
through the
forever.
history of time.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's not, we're not represented enough in books, in TV, all of that in a positive way. So, confronted with all of that, and what I really found myself craving was connecting with other people who would be able to relate to how I was feeling, who'd be free at the weekends for play dates, Sunday lunches, someone who would be able free to have a glass of wine with me when my son went off to his dad's, and to be able to talk about navigating co-parenting and all of this stuff. And the thought of having that connection with other people who understood gave me such a feeling of hope and respite. And the last thing in the world I was looking to do was start a business or start something up, but I just hoped that this thing existed. And so I searched on Google, I searched on the App Store, couldn't find what I was looking for. But what I did discover is that 1 in 4 families in the UK and Ireland are single parent families. And then the US, I think it's an even bigger stat. I think it's something like 1 in 3. And that kind of hit me in the face, saying, well, every time I leave my house, I'm walking by single parents. Every time I'm in the playground, there's a huge amount of other people who must be single parents, but none of us have signs on our heads. So I just felt so kind of, so frustrated, but so keen to find out how I can find these people. And really it was a meeting, a chance kind of, meeting with this other local mom in my area where I live in London. And I just bumped into her after a yoga class one day, and she mentioned that she'd been on holiday, and she said it was just her and her son. And her son was the exact same age as mine. And so she said it was just her and her son on holiday, and that she was absolutely, shattered, tired coming back from holiday, and that she was in she was in her room drinking wine in the dark, from 7 p.m. when the son was in bed type thing. And I said, oh, where was your husband? Was he not able to make it? And she said, no, I've been a single parent. We broke up when my son was 1. And I've been a single parent since then. And I just said, wait, what? So all of these times we've stopped to chat. I didn't tell you that I was a single parent. You didn't tell me that you were a single parent. Yet we're streets away, literally less than a 5-minute walk away from each other. We have kids the same age. We like each other. We could be hanging out every weekend, helping each other, supporting each other. And it was this there was such a mix of emotions. And that for me is when the blinkers went down, and I said, that's it. This has to, if this is the sign from the universe that there's like these, there's people everywhere. And now today I have all around, even just my close kind of area, my local area in London, I've got a ton of friends from Frolo who are like my extended family, dotted all around my area. So that dream really came true, and that was the moment that I saw that it could happen.
It's such a blessing for you, and I truly believe that things happen for a reason, and the people that are meant to be in your life, especially after a divorce or in a difficult time, they're going to show up. And I have this conversation with clients all the time, because it is truly the most isolating, and you said shameful and lonely, and God, those weekends were the worst when I was the only divorced person in my group and didn't know what to do with myself. But as I started branching out and finding my new people, it was such a relief, and all of those negative feelings are replaced by hope. And I could see it in your eyes, the way you spoke about meeting this friend and discovering her single mom secret. It was replaced with this hope that you had. Was that the feeling for you?
Oh, it was replaced with such a feeling of hope. And honestly, it's I almost can't kind of talk about the journey without sort of feeling emotional, because it's been so profound. The whole thing has been so profound, and it's just been such a lesson. Because when my relationship broke down, I honestly thought it was the worst thing that could ever possibly happen. And oh my God, this family unit I've always wanted, and my son is not going to have a mom and a dad living in the same home, and or confronted with almost my biggest fear. But actually, it really is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And it's taught me that, it's having kind of love and support and connection in your life. It can happen without there being 2 parents living in the same home. I have it in in such an abundant way now through all of these amazing connections that I've made through Frolo. And while it's not conventional, it really does feel like, a version of the family, the community that I've always been sort of seeking. And yeah, I'm so grateful for the whole journey.
It's so funny because here in the States, so many people have reached out to me over the years, like, do you have like a local meetup group or can we create something? I'd love to get together with other moms. And we'll all always say, like, wouldn't it be great if there was like a dating app for single moms just to meet each other? And the fact that you've created it, I mean, I wish everybody in the world knew about this. I wish I had this 6.5 years ago when I was sitting in my bed feeling sorry for myself every weekend. What a game changer. So tell me some of the features that the app has. Do you have to be in the UK to use it, or is it good
No,
everywhere?
we have literally just opened up in the US. So anyone listening to this
Yay.
podcast will be able to download Frolo. It's completely free at the moment, free to download, free to use. So we've just gone live in North America and in Australia, which is so exciting. And so in terms of how the app works, so there's two separate modes on Frolo. We started with community mode back in 2019, but due to a lot of kind of demand and request, we added on a dating mode.
Ooh,
So yeah,
okay.
yeah. So it depends what stage you're at, or if you're interested, you might be just looking to find your community, looking to find your support network, and not interested in dating. But when you're ready, if you're ready, you can hop on over to the dating mode. It's all fully user verified, which means that it's very safe and secure experience. So everyone on Frolo is fully user verified, meaning that they go through have to give ID and a live photo, so that we know that everyone is who they say they are.
Right.
And there's a set of values so it's a very very unique space. People have said it's like the unicorn of social media, and communities, in that it's very supportive, very kind space. So on the community, there's a few different key features. There's a discovery tab where you can search for other single parents in your area. You can search by, mom, dad, kids age, parenting type, whether you're a solo parent, a widow, a co-parent, a parallel parent. Then there's the feed, which is where you can post looking for guidance or advice, or share some, nice news. If it's your kid's birthday that day, you can share a nice photo and you'll get a wave of support from the community
Oh,
going,
I love
amazing, you've nailed it,
Zoe. This is
So
brilliant. This is
it's
brilliant.
it's great. And then there's the meetup section. So in the meetup section, you can find or create meetups. So, in terms of in real life meetups, there's also virtual meetups, there's camping trips, there's festivals, there's holidays, there's picnic play dates, there's, adults only nights out. So everything you can think of, and going on there. And then there's the chat section. So you can privately message the Frolos that you're connected to, or there's group chats and you can create your own. So, if, yeah, there's anything from, co-parenting support to narcissist recovery groups to fitness Frolos to, a whole range of stuff.
And
And
do you have professionals like running those groups? Like, let's say the narcissist recovery group. Who runs
so the
that?
narc so the narcissist recovery group, there are like, kind of a whole bunch of users in the community on there. And sometimes, someone might jump in with some kind of expert advice or to share some resources. And same thing with meetups. Sometimes there's virtual meetups run by experts, and
Got it.
sometimes meetups, there's a few people in the community who have, just through their own experience, kind of become almost, very kind of close to a lot of the resources available, and
Hmm.
through, so they now there's a pay it forward thing that goes on where it's like, let me help you, I've been
Yeah.
there, this is what I've learned. So the sense of people wanting to support other people is incredible. And I guess you'll understand, Michelle, it's like when you're a single parent, the level of like respect and empathy you have
Oof.
for other people in the same situation.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I feel for me, it was like my mom was a single mom and she raised both my brother and I with far less than I had. I was self-sufficient financially by the time I got separated. I had a big network and community around me, but my mom, an immigrant to the United States with no family around and no job, and here she was with my brother and I in a foreign land and just did it with a smile on her face. I'm like, she was my example for that. But I already respected her, but the level of respect afterwards, when I was just home with one child, and like it just, man, yes. I mean, I think single parents are, I know people hate the term superhuman, but they really are in my mind because you have to carry so much. And I've never met a single parent who isn't completely just head over heels committed to doing the best that they can for their children. I just haven't, at least not in my community. And that's why I love what you're doing, because you only get better in this. When you get divorced or separated or whatever it is that has led you to be a single mom, you realize when you become a parent in that lifestyle, you want to do anything and everything you can to get better. There's no victim mindset. It's all victor. And when you're surrounded by people who can be your cheerleaders, like, man, amazing. And anyway, yeah, I'm just obsessed with this whole idea.
Oh,
Kind of wish I
thank
thought of
you.
it, Zoe. No.
No, well, you are busy doing amazing things. We are huge fans of yours at Frolo. Honestly, the message that you're getting out there, the support, and also just helping really change that narrative, break down that stigma, empower, the whole experience. It's so powerful. And what you said there really resonated with me. There is no place for this victim mindset, and that's why, when I was looking to find something like this, I stumbled across, Facebook groups and things like that, and I just, where people were sort of slagging off their exes or saying, oh, I can't,
Yeah.
and I just thought, I don't want it. I want to feel empowered. I want to feel proud. And I think by doing that, it's such, it helps us be the best parents we can be. And that's what that's what it's all about. It's about helping ourselves, but also by doing that, helping, being the best we can be for our kids.
I love it. I love it. And I hope that it has all the success in the world, especially here in the US, because it's definitely needed. And you mentioned early on in the podcast the guilt and the shame. And so it's not like I'm not relieved to hear it, but it's interesting to me that it's a universal concept. Here in the US, there has always been a stigma associated with being a single parent, from how it's portrayed in the media to music to, I don't know, just in conversation. When I was a teacher, it was like, oh, well, that one, his mom's a single mom. It was always like
Yeah.
that, like underlying something's wrong with this. Where, when you look objectively and you do the research, you learn that some of the world's most successful and creative and hardworking human beings, athletes, movie producers, scientists, what have you, came from single parent homes. And so, it's really all not that bad. So the fact that you're helping to shatter the stigma by connecting people and making them find their strengths, I think it's amazing. And I hope, it really just has the same effect here. Um, well, yeah,
Thank
I
you so
mean,
much.
have you had any
Thank
like
you.
Frollo success stories, like any marriages or
Oh,
anything that you
so
know of?
many. Yes, so many Frollo success stories. Well, obviously, on the community side, I mean, there is just not
Endless
enough
friendships.
kind of endless friendship, holidays, like people spending Christmases together, it's just kind of endless. But on the dating side, so we launched dating a year ago, and yeah, there's been engagements, sort of
Oh my God.
lots of very happily blending families. So it's really, really exciting. And I think just, people sometimes feel a bit scared, to date again after becoming a single parent. And, some people might have been coming out of a very, turbulent relationships, or not feeling great about themselves, or what does the dating landscape look like now that I'm a parent? And again, even just going on the norm, the dating apps, the traditional dating apps, and kind of seeing kids being referred to as baggage and things. Swipe left if you have baggage, referring to kids. I mean, it's so negative, and it immediately kind of can make you
I hate
feel
that so much.
It's awful. It's
Yeah.
awful. And it's like, if anyone even thought like that, like, do you think any of us single parents would go near them with a 10-foot barge pole? Obviously not,
No.
So it's really, really lovely, just that, that shared connection that single parents automatically have. So even on the dating side of things, what we're hearing back is that it's just, it makes way for, those connections to happen more quickly, because, and even if it's on a friendship thing, it's just being able to talk about your experience as parents. Both of you love your kids, want to put your kids first. And so it's great.
I love it. I'm going to join. I want to do some sort of like Frolo promo here in Miami and get everybody riled up and get people together.
Yes,
So we got to talk
please.
about that separately. I think it's
Yes.
so needed. And I would, every time somebody emails me or DMs me asking for some physical meetup group, I say I'm going to start one, and it's just, I've got so many other hats that I'm wearing right now, and this may be what everybody needs. So.
Well, anyway,
let's make some magic.
Collaborate, Michelle. I am up for it. Yeah, I will get on a plane and come to Miami, and we can host an event and do something amazing.
Only if we can also do it in the UK, because it gives me an excuse to get out of here. Okay.
100%. Okay, perfect.
Let's make it happen. Magic. All right. Well, everybody, if you are not yet convinced, I don't even know, clean your ears, because you must not have heard us right. This is what you might be missing in terms of finding your happy and finding your comfort and finding your connection again after a divorce. Man, is this good. Like I said, I wish I thought of it, but I'm so happy Zoe did instead. Zoe, where can everybody learn more? I know that you are Frolo, Frolo is the app that you can find in the App Store. You are on Instagram. You post great stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, on Instagram, we're Frolo_app. And then our website is frolo.com, and there's links to the App Store and the Google Play Store there as well.
Love it. Well, guys, check it out. We're obviously going to link it. Hopefully at some point here soon, I can even have a little link for you in my link tree, so you can get on that and stay in touch, because I know this is going to be changing lives. We'll see you next time on Moms Moving On. Thanks, Zoe.